Let's get straight into it.
And Usher and Chris Brown, see, they trying to do something new. Commodores with Earth, Wind and Fire, we were doing that back 40 years ago. The only difference is between then and now, we didn't go to jail. I'm sorry. We're fine Christian men, fine Christian men. Fine Christian men. That's right. See, we didn't have that Instagram and that TikTok and that you go out and tell a lie, then go post it. What the hell was that? Let's do a little see you, see me.
Yo, man, I just seen a motherfucking video with Lionel Richie, man, hating on Chris Brown and Usher, man. Stop that shit, man. I hate to see old niggas hating on young niggas, man. Stop this. You a fucking legend, Lionel. Everyone's unique. We're dancing in the streets all night long. They don't get started, don't come around. Like, you a legend, bro. You was getting sideways dick sucks before these niggas was even born, bro. You in the Hall of Fame of fucking legends. Like, let them young niggas be great, man. You talk about, dude, we did that 40 years ago. Okay, we supposed to take what the legends did in the past and we supposed to upgrade that shit. Dr. J, he jumped from the motherfucking foul line. Regular ass joint. Boom. Mike came through. That's what you're supposed to do. Like, stop that shit, man. All the old niggas, stop hating on these young niggas, man. Let these young niggas be great, man. Every time you look on the internet, it's some old niggas hating on some young niggas, man. Get that shit up, man. You was getting dick sucks when Martin Luther King was alive, man. Fuck you worrying about these young boys for, man. Right?
Nah, see, I don't agree with Gillie's take, right? I think that he interpreted the whole situation completely wrong, you know what I mean? See, I took Richie's statement, man, as a veteran, essentially as a warning to Chris Brown and Usher. You know what I mean? It was him jokingly telling them to be careful, right? I took Lionel Richie's statement as a veteran, essentially giving Usher and Chris Brown game, right? You can tell that he was joking when he made his statements. And he was just telling them to be careful, man, about what they publicly were doing, because he did it in his day, but the environment is different. You know, he wasn't trying to present himself or his generation as morally superior. He was saying we did things too. The difference is you guys are living in an era where everything is being recorded, posted, and interpreted, and potentially used against you. So he was just saying, be careful. That's it. You know what I mean? And one of the things that I dislike about where we're at right now in the culture is that it's become close to impossible to criticize or critique without being called a hater, right? I listened to, I think the guy's name Ray Daniels over on his podcast, and he's a guy that I respect greatly, man. He's done a lot of good in his niche. I respect him. But he was having a conversation on his platform, and I think one of the brothers from Earn Your Leisure was on his podcast, and they were talking about the song that Miami made about scamming, and Ray Daniels was basically sharing that same sentiment. Well, you know what? When we was youngsters, we did it too. See, the thing is this, man. We go through things. We supposed to grow through them. When you become older, that age should come with knowledge, intelligence. You know, but more importantly, man, wisdom. Right? That gives you a chance to look back over life and reflect and use your hindsight to make better decisions and to help other people make better decisions in the present. If we're not using our experiences to help the younger generation out, We watched them go through the same struggles that we went through, and that's not what God intended for us. So I challenge Gillie, a brother that I greatly respect, and Ray Daniels, a man who I greatly respect, to challenge themselves to say, you know what, man, you know, we're grown now. We have to put away childish ways. Gillie, man, you were wrong with you know, you were wrong in calling Lionel Richie out. The man's 77 years old, man, almost 80. He done been here a good while, man, and he done seen it, and he could see the coming attractions. So for him to kick knowledge to Usher and Chris Brown, that's a gift. That's a blessing. He's not trying to knock them brothers down, because they're not young. You got Chris Brown, he's 37. You got a family, right? I think Usher is 47. These are veterans, right? And they're using, man, who's to say, man, you pull one of them women on the stage. I seen one situation where the woman was just completely uncomfortable. You know, she filed charges, right? She didn't know that you was going to do what you were doing when you called her up on the stage. She could easily say that you groped her or you sexually assaulted her. So Richie wasn't wrong for saying, you know what I mean, y'all got to be careful. We did it too, but y'all got to be careful. So Gillie, man, you owe the old head an apology, right? And then the criticism was public, so the apology should be public. You're a man, you know what I mean? And when we become men, we put away childish ways. You know, Gillie, he made another statement, man. He said that we supposed to take what the legends did in the past and we supposed to upgrade it. Now, I just talked about that. That's not always true. Now, when it's sports, which he used as an example, that's one thing, man. You know what I mean? But when we're talking about real life, we don't take the bad habits from the old heads after watching them fail and fall on their face and put them into practice and go through the same ordeal. The old heads that really care for us, they wouldn't even let us do it. And if we care for the youngsters, we're not going to let them do it. The mistakes that I've made in life, I try to platform them, right? I never try to show my kids that I'm a perfect man, because I'm not. I'd be lying. So the mistakes that I made, I use them as examples. Listen, man, don't make this mistake, because if you do this is what can possibly happen. So it's not always just black and white. Yes, there is some instances where they say, man, the legends have paved the way before us. But there's also a lot of examples, man, that have been left that have been negative in nature. Think about all of the old heads that just come home from jail after doing 20 years in the penitentiary, 20, 30 years in the penitentiary. And the ones that haven't learned anything, they haven't made any adjustments, they try to monetize off their story of viciousness. And it doesn't end well for them, man. Right? Eventually the story get old and it fizzle out. But if they learned anything, they wouldn't even think that the story was even worth telling. Right? You come out, you tell the story to anybody that's willing to listen, and you don't have the right mind frame, so you don't even know that you're corrupting those that you decide to share that story with. So you got to be able to weigh it, man. It's not all the same. So I don't like the fact that Gillie called the old head out, and again, I think that he should publicly apologize to him. And we got to stop this, man. Us as men, or us as a culture, as a society, criticism has to be a part of our culture. It has to be, man, because we don't know all of the answers. You know what I mean? I can't tell you how many times I've ran into young guys and I've given them sound advice, and they've come back to me and they said, man, you know, you gave me some advice to save my life. If we stop criticizing, and condemning, you got a bunch of people, man, that just recklessly approach life with blinders on, and that leads to a catastrophe. And we can stop that. You know what I mean? So I would say, man, keep criticizing, keep condemning, and do it respectfully. Everybody that criticize, everybody that condemn isn't haters, man. That's the new way of kind of like gaslighting. When you see it and it isn't right, criticize it. And I'm talking about everything from the music to these podcast hosts that are just trifling, man. And I'm talking about the Charleston Whites and you know, some of the other guys, the Whack 1 Cents. These guys should be criticized every chance we get. That's my take on this, man. You know, I'm interested to hear what y'all got to say about it. I started full. I'm empty for now. I love y'all. I'll catch y'all next time.